get into this here in a moment. Ask questions. People with social anxiety use it actually a lot. I know a couple Second Life users that will ask questions in Second Life they would not ask in person. Microsoft and some other big companies actually have help desks in Second Life. Hold on one second. You had a question?
Well, I'm from the Teaching and Academic Support Center, as is Brad McDaniels over there, and we actually help with the UK Second Life Ireland. And I'll turn around and say that the misconception, there is, a balance between some of the social events that we might host there, but it's been primarily used as, at least we're exploring some of the options that might be available within Second Life as an alternate learning environment.
Yes.
Right now, even though we have the library on there, the library has hosted a number of exhibits and also some discussion groups and presentations. And I think if you had to think about a disadvantage, one disadvantage would be that if you wanted to attend these things, that you would have to be an avatar, and the learning curve on learning how to be an avatar can sometimes be quite daunting. So I'll be the first to admit that. But in addition to that, we've gone ahead, and I know that the art school, for example, has had student exhibits on there. And right now we are working on a project which is for an anatomy class. This class is a rather large class, and as you know, given some of the budget constraints, lab space is also an issue over here on campus. So what happens is we've got an anatomy lab over there that we're creating, which all these students, and I think it's for a 300 level, will be able to come and participate in. The current building that's there is divided into 3 areas, depending on the area of anatomy that the students will be studying in. We're hoping to get this tested, if not by summer, at least by fall of this coming year. So there's some, we're trying to make sure that at least with the UK Second Life Ireland, that we don't just make it a novelty. There has to be some educational effects and implications on it. It has to be effective. Michigan is also doing similarly. So, once again, I just wanted to, put to rest any concerns that some of us might have over the fact that why are we going in this gaming environment? It really is something that's been looked at as an alternate learning space.
Right, and that's one of the points is, she makes an excellent point. We have this preconceived notion that people can't learn things in a video game. Well, I would argue you're wrong, really wrong. So, again, like I said, the Second Life community, the PlayStation Home community, these areas, these up and coming 3D environments, I feel they're going to continue to gain popularity. So, again, we briefly went over Xbox Live. There's my co-avatar. He has a smirk. Let's go ahead and go forward, and we'll deal with more questions at the end, I promise. Okay, so next, let's talk about Twitter. Raise of hands, who knows what Twitter is? More than I thought. All right, well, this is an example. This is kind of a brief video done by a group called Common Craft that does sort of like paper cutouts to explain complex ideas with simple paper cutouts. So this is to kind of help you get an idea of what Twitter is. We're going to go through this, and then we'll talk a little bit more in depth about microblogs and Twitter.
So, what are you doing?
Oh, but I forgot.
It's one of the first questions we often ask friends and family. Even if the answer is just mowing the lawn or cooking dinner, it's interesting to us. It makes us feel connected and a part of each other's lives. Unfortunately, most of our day-to-day lives are hidden from people that care. Of course, we have email and blogs and phones to keep us connected, but you wouldn't send an email to a friend to tell them you're having coffee. Your friend doesn't need to know that. But what about people that want to know about the little things that happen in your life? Real life happens between blog posts and emails, and now there's a way to share. This is Twitter in plain English. Thanks to Twitter, it's possible to share short, bite-sized updates about your life and follow the updates of people that matter to you via the web. Here's how it works. Meet Carla. She's addicted to her mobile phone, reads blogs every day, and has contacts all over the world. She heard about Twitter and was skeptical. After some of her friends couldn't stop talking about it, she gave it a try. She signed up for free and saw that Twitter pages look a little like blogs with very short posts. Each page is personal and has updates from friends. She got started by looking up her friends on Twitter.com. After finding a few, she clicked follow to start seeing their updates on her Twitter page. Within hours, she began to see a different side of people she chose to follow. She didn't know that Stephen in Seattle was a baseball fan, or that Julia in London was reading a new investment book. The little messages from Twitter painted a picture of her friends, family, and coworkers that she'd never seen before. It was the real world. Soon, she became a fan of Twitter and posted updates every day. Her friends followed her updates and learned that she recently discovered a passion for Van Halen. They could see Carla's life between blog posts and emails. For Carla, Twitter worked because it was simple. The updates were always short, under 140 characters. Plus, she could post updates and follow her friends using the Twitter website, software on her browser, a mobile phone, or instant messages. By asking members to answer the question, "What are you doing?" Carla found that Twitter brought her closer to people that matter to her, 140 characters at a time. Find out what your friends are doing at twitter.com. I'm Lee Lefevre, and this has been Twitter in Plain English on the Common Craft Show.
Okay, so I apologize, the audio was a little soft. I didn't, that was my fault for not talking to the AV people to hook it up previously. So what is Twitter? Twitter is the definition of a microblog. What is a microblog? Who here is on Facebook? Most of you. Okay. The status updates on Facebook are a microblog. That's the way to think about it. Twitter was kind of born out of Facebook microblogging. People realize, gosh, I get more out of him saying he's eating a peanut butter sandwich than his blog. He never mentioned in his blog that he likes peanut butter and banana sandwiches. I hear Elvis Presley like that. So, let me pull up Twitter real fast. I had all these pulled up before.
So Twitter came after Facebook?
Twitter, yes. Twitter came after Facebook, and it's the whole idea behind it is, let's get signed in here, is just to give brief updates about your world. Now,
do you have to pay for Twitter?
No, absolutely not. Twitter is free. Right now they're working on advertising to help, pay the bills for Twitter. But right now Twitter is free. So to give you an idea, this is my Twitter page. These are the people I'm following, as well as my own Twitter updates. My friend Lindsay, thank goodness for TV remotes. Penn Gillette from Penn & Teller. I'm writing one of my food articles for Maximum. I'm going to start tasting all the regional brands of breakfast cereal. Some people might not find that interesting, but some might. Now, what makes Twitter interesting and different is that Twitter can be updated via a cell phone, via text messaging, not via internet on the cell phone, because as our little small study proved, about 50% of people who have phones don't have internet on their phones. So I expect that number is going to go up, but right now it's a bar from allowing people to interact with the internet, in real time. So let's go back to the SharePoint, and I can show you. One of the things that Twitter allows me to do is to post dynamically here on SharePoint. I have my Twitter dumping into SharePoint. I can tell you, if you stop by here, I can tell you, I really should have put my notes into slides last night. Darn sleep. Presentations make me nervous. I'm going to delete this. That was a test from last night. I would get a lot more done if my kitties would stop meowing and let me practice my lecture in peace. So, this is exactly what composed of my updates. So I can update this from here on the web page, which is where most of my updates come from.